Hello. Summer immediately got really busy, and I wanted to make sure I took a little time to reflect on the perfumes that I wore in spring before June totally gets away from me. There's a lot of them, so I'm going to try to get through them kind of quick. First, Annabelle's birthday cake. I had a little, like the pen size. I used that up, so now I just have this little tiny sample, which I think this juice at the bottom is probably an orphan. I don't think I can get to it. It's just not coming out of there. This is like the perfect spring scent, I have to say. It's soft and kind of floral gourmand. I've described it before, but to me, it's a memory of a birthday party, and everything's sort of hazy and in soft focus, kind of like it was like a montage shot by Sofia Coppola. And you're remembering blowing up balloons and taking licks of icing. It's lemon icing that's going to go on the cake, Annabelle's birthday cake, which is a cocoa cake, not a chocolate cake, because it's sort of a light, faintly chocolate sponge. And so you got all this sort of feeling of anticipation in those memories, and then memories of children running around on a lawn. And then when you zoom out a little bit, you're remembering this as you're flipping through a photo album that has been damaged in a flood in a basement. So there's a little bit of mildew to it. And yeah, I just find this to be such a beautifully, masterfully done fragrance. It's gourmand, but it's very light and hazy and sweet. It really conjures up a scene for me. If you're a niche perfume fan, you know this fragrance. I might need to get a full bottle because it really is one that just makes my heart sing. Another Marissa Zappas fragrance that I wore a lot in spring was La Divina. This used to be called Imperia La Divina, and it was named for a 15th century Roman courtesan who became sort of a celebrity courtesan and was the first to be given a state funeral. So love that inspiration, first off, so cool. Marissa Zappas really gets how to investigate femininity in a way that is like Sofia Coppola or like Lana Del Rey. It's like really nuanced. And she doesn't shy away from sort of the ugly or scary things that might go alongside lush feminine beauty. So this fragrance, it's a rose scent. Marissa Zappas really loves a vintage. She's talked about her obsession with Elizabeth Taylor and has done a couple scents inspired by her, including Maggie the Cat is Alive, I'm Alive, which is inspired by Taylor's character in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. This La Divina has a little bit of that DNA, the Maggie the Cat scent, which Maggie the Cat has a champagne note in it, which is really interesting. She manages to capture the sort of like fizzy bubbles up your nose feeling of champagne. Paired with in La Divina, it's paired with a rose and a very clean musk. So again, it conjures up a scene for me. I can picture Imperia La Divina's bedroom. She was known to sit on a balcony outside and sort of wave to her patrons. And so I can picture the French doors off of her balcony with big white curtains billowing in, and then her bedroom. And I sort of see this as a not totally historically accurate rendition of her bedroom. This is sort of like, I've described it as the like 1980s biopic of her life. So again, it's in soft focus, it's very feminine. We have a vanity where everything is pink and super feminine. There's a powder puff and some candied rose petals on the vanity, and an atomizer, tasseled atomizer. And then opposite that, you have the bed, and it's this big four-postered bed. And when you look inside the curtains, the sheets are all tousled, and they've been sweated through. So there's a little bit of human bodiness to this scent. I find it very sexy, feminine at the same time. I'm continuing to wear this a lot. My other roses are the only ones I can remember that I have right now are Rose Jam and Portrait of a Lady. And whereas Rose Jam is sort of like fun party girl energy, Portrait of a Lady is like a boardroom scent. This kind of strikes the balance in between the two. I'm all out of Memoire Collective from Frau Tonis, which I picked up in Berlin. And I'm sad because this scent really does remind me of a summer visit to Berlin, which is a city that just has completely captured my heart. It's an interesting one. This is probably one of the cleaner fragrances that I've ever enjoyed. And at first I kind of just thought, all right, it's like a clean laundry scent, clean laundry hanging on a line. But then as I wore it more and more, I found that there was kind of a fruit punch aspect to it as well. And not like a super sugary, sweetened fruit punch, but like you kind of just took whatever random assortment of fruit you had in your kitchen and ran it through the juicer. So it's very natural sweetness, but it does still have that sort of clean, airy, laundry drying on a line thing going for it. This was one I would wear fresh out of the shower just because it was so clean and pretty. If I didn't want to sort of add anything to my character, but just wanted to enjoy being sort of fresh and clean, this was one I obviously wore a lot. I want to try more like this, but the arena of clean fragrances is kind of boring for the most part. So if anyone has any recommendations of interesting clean scents, I'd love to hear them. I wore Dusita Erawan a lot. It's a vetiver scent, and it's supposed to be inspired by an elephant tromping through the forest in Thailand. It doesn't give me that at all. To me, I get a white floral and then kind of a cigarette smoke thing. I've said this before, but when I first smelled it, it really smelled like too cigarette-y for me. Like it smelled like a smoker's room in the airport. But I did a 180 on it. I love this scent now. It's a bit serious. It's not a happy scent, I will say. It's a little brooding and complicated. So I like to wear this with like a leather jacket. It's beautiful. I'm even smelling it right now, and I want to put it on. It's just, it's kind of dense and sexy, serious and enigmatic. So I enjoyed wearing it in spring. I'll probably wear a little bit in summer. I'll definitely pick it up in fall again. Once again, Musk Amber was towards the top of my worn list in spring. It seems like every season I'm wearing this. Oh God, it's so good. It's just like musky, obviously, a little sweet, a little balsamic, I think. Like, I don't even really know what I'm smelling here. And I just recently smelled all the other perfumes from Nemat, and they're like, fine, nothing is quite as unique as this. So yeah, Musk Amber, best $10 I've spent in perfume, I have to say. Another balsamic scent, which I don't think I've talked about in a video, is 401 by Parfumeur. This is actually the perfume that got me into perfume. I'm a little over halfway through my second bottle. It is so beautiful and unique, and it is a fragrance that really reflects myself back to me. The notes, Bon Parfumeur lists them all on the front, and the notes in this are cedar, prune confit, and vanilla. It's not really a gourmand. I would say the cedar definitely is the strongest note in this, but there is sort of a jammy plum in the background. There are days I've worn this and it's been really smoky, which is interesting. I described it once as like the lingering smell of a prune or a plum tart in a cabin sitting around with friends. And that's not quite right, because while those notes are all there, that kind of conjures up a heavier fragrance to me. The thing that's unique about this is that it is so light. It seems to like hover like an inch off your skin and just sort of give you an aura of this scent. Oh gosh, it's really good. And this is also one that can really be worn in all seasons. Yeah, I always come back to it and I always really love it. Finally, I wore Blanche Bête, and it's about to go away for the season. I wore this during colder days in spring. To be totally honest, I had a tough spring. In a little bit of a tangent, in medieval times, people referred to the end of winter going into spring as the starving times, because that was when you had run out of your preserves and you hadn't been able to grow any new food yet. And so it was really lean times. I recognize I live in an era and a time and a place where I am not literally starving, thank God, but I do feel starved for sunshine and fresh air and fresh food. And so in like March. And so I tend to get a little depressed in March. I decided that I needed to take a vacation next March just because it's such an awful time. In short, I was seeking comfort in March. I needed something that would feel just kind of cozy and warm, like somebody was rubbing my back and telling me it was going to be okay. And so I wore Blanche Bête, my beautiful tuberose milkshake. It is so tender and sweet. Yeah, I mean, it's so, it is childlike, right? Like it's a milky scent. And it helped, it did. So, it's definitely, I've decided it's a cold weather scent. So that suited March, which we had some really horrible cold weather in March. And thankfully that is long behind us. It's summer now, and I'm into my juicy, fruity, tart, tangy summer fragrances. So that's it. Enjoy your summer, and I'll talk to you next season.